It doesn't change the 12 years that just happened to these people and the loss of all that generational wealth. What about that?
We at Black Excellence in Cannabis did look into the Arlington situation. We have to agree that that is not what we consider social equity. That was not the target to give it to someone that was currently in the retail sector and then to be glorified on the media as if job complete. The job is not complete until we reinstate those people that were stripped out of King County, Pierce County, and Snohomish County.
It's the same with Dennis Turner. He was involved in that case with a case you have to know about that I told you about before. Turner, Quinn, and Pang, and it was what's her face that sued them with alkaloid cannabis. She now owns that. Greider is her name. They were double dealing behind her back. She found the property, took out a $115,000 loan to get it ready. Okay, then they burned rubber on her, and I had the court order. It's right here. Assessments: $178,000, $350,000, $437,000 for her. Again, and he was involved in all of this. So if that's not acceptable, and it's not acceptable to me or anybody in this room, is it? Why are people like him getting licenses under the false premise that he's a new social equity candidate?
So our question at the Black Excellence Cannabis, Mr. Postman, Chair's Postman, where is the money for these stores at, man? We got to have dialogue there. Ollie Garrett, we need dialogue on where this money and when this money's coming. We have no idea where this is at. It is most definitely hindering this program.
Yes, he's free to be put in a cage in Harlem and New York City. He's free to be put in a cage in the south side of Chicago and the west side. He's free to be put in a cage in Huff and Cleveland. He's free to be put in a cage in East St. Louis. He's free to be put in a cage in Fillmore and San Francisco. He's free to be put in a cage in Roxbury and Boston. Gathering them up from miles around. Keeping the niggers down. We're rednecks, we're rednecks. We don't know our ass from a hole in the ground.
So a couple of things here quickly. Number one, someone said that I speak fast and I attack people. All that's nonsense. Deflection, deflection, deflection. I elocute just fine. Rhetoric was my minor. I've won jury trials. I've won awards for my public speaking. I'm just fine. And I don't attack anybody. I'm just putting out facts. So when I asked this person who was affiliated with one of those phony wellness centers, by the way, that divulge private information, I asked this person in my blog to state specifics and whether or not they agreed with the conduct of Dennis Turner and all that nonsense in Arlington or that false narrative. Crickets, okay? They're a plant. Next, or might as well be, next. After the Ninth Circuit finished ignoring Kevin Shelton and Libby Haynes, or not, Libby wasn't in it, but Kevin and Sammy and his brother Ben in the Ninth Circuit, they ignored everything that they said and just basically rubber stamped what the LCB wanted them to say, okay? After that, we get this information from the LCB in a 10th installment that clearly shows that they were aware of Vince Sears because of this stalking case in January of 2022. Rick Garza lied to Kevin Shelton when he told him after that, thanks for making us aware of this, okay? All these people are liars. The whole social equity program is a lie. The LCB as an entity is nothing but a grand lie. We'll be talking about that on 420 when I take the stage. Bye.
Great day to everyone here. Thought I'd make Black history today, being the first Black man to drive from Mount Vernon to come down here to a board meeting, because the Black history that was postulated and put online by King 5 at the first of the month turned out to be a false narrative, okay? Because it said that Dennis Turner was this new social equity candidate who got a new store in Arlington, Washington. Well, as y'all know, I lived in Arlington for 3 years, okay? I know the community very well. And he's not new. I have all of the licenses before. He was with Lucid. He was with Turner, Vuskovic, and Aguiar. He had a Euphoria. He had another Cloud9 entity before. He's been around the block. And that's one thing, because the social equity program was never designed to help people who had existing 502 licenses, was it? Why would that be the point? That makes no sense, all right? It was to help people like Kevin Shelton, who's filming me right now, get what was taken from them by people like Jenny Durkin, when Jenny Durkin was busy violating the heck out of the Ogden memo, sending go-to-hell letters to all the Black pioneers, threatening them that they needed to get out within 30 days. Yes, she did. And her excuse to Ann Cottinelli on the video project, I'm not even going to get into her excuse yet. I'll let Ann do that, but that's ridiculous. So anyway, we had a false narrative with that. But what I'm finding to be much larger of an issue is that the LCB has an ongoing history of buddying up to people with nefarious backgrounds. Where should I start? How about the whole way that Ian Eisenberg did what he did on the South End down there? That was disgusting. But more than that, there's a family called the Widmer family we've talked about before. The Widmer family, where your own lawyers, Mr. Postman, wrote, and I quote, that he's involved in some transactions, various financial transactions, would turn your hair white, okay? Millions of dollars of fraud findings against his companies, and he gets licenses with Khalifa, okay? What's up with that? He lied to the U.S. trustee. He hid the Porsche. He hid the Rolex. He hid everything. He lied to you, Mr. Postman, and you still let them get licenses. It's same with Dennis Turner. He was involved in that case with a case you have to know about that I told you about before. Turner, Quinn, and Pang, and it was what's her face that sued them with alkaloid cannabis. She now owns that. Greider is her name. They were double dealing behind her back. She found the property, took out a $115,000 loan to get it ready. Okay, then they burned rubber on her, and I had the court order. It's right here. Assessments: $178,000, $350,000, $437,000 for her. Again, and he was involved in all of this. So if that's not acceptable, and it's not acceptable to me or anybody in this room, is it? Why are people like him getting licenses under the false premise that he's a new social equity candidate? Well, people like Kevin Shelton sit there in dismay. This makes no sense. But that's what the LCB does. And you say you're ushering in this new era of transparency. You only give me the CV of your director, Bill Lucala, okay? Let's face it, it is not unreasonable for a citizen to ask for the CV of the head of a public agency. I am not the problem. And I refuse to let anybody in this room ever insinuate that I am the problem.
Christopher, you have 30 seconds.
Thank you. I have never been the problem. The LCB has always been the problem. And as I discussed with Sky a few minutes ago, we're going to get up and do some things together because I have no problem with GLBTQ. My partner identifies with that community. I've helped that community before. I'm good with them. We don't have a problem, but we all have a problem with you. And that's not my fault. It's not his fault. It's never going to be our fault. You have left the Black community in shambles for 10 years now, and I'm tired of it. I've got handouts for everybody.
That's your time.
I'd like a stamped copy of this back, please. I've got handouts for everyone so they can see the truth that major press won't talk about.
Okay. The next person signed up is Kevin Shelton.
Here.
Good, man.
Okay.
I got nothing to say.
Kevin's good. Kevin's good. You can move it along. I can get a stamped copy of this back.
Chair Postman, Kevin Shelton is yielding his time.
Okay. Then Peter Manning is the next person who signed up.
Good morning, Chair Postman, Board Member Ali Garrett. I am Peter Manning, President of Black Excellence Cannabis. I'd like to start by saying that a little bit of recognition needs to be handed out. 2020 Black Excellence Cannabis, a pioneer, the 42 licenses that came out last year. Last year, Black Excellence Cannabis helped create 52 retail stores, 100 processors, and 10 producers, with the Vice President Mike Assad at my side. Black Excellence Cannabis has really been fighting this fight for the last 10 years. And for those that have questions, that's 204 opportunities that we have given or brought to the Black and Brown community of Washington. The sad part of that is that these opportunities should have been given to the Black and Brown community from the onset of social equity or cannabis period in Washington. There should be no need for a social equity program here, being that we were all made privy to the problems that we were faced with in 2015, as well as 2016, as well as 2017. My point being We are now at the crust of where the 42 licenses were supposed to go live. We at Black Excellence in Cannabis did look into the Arlington situation. We have to agree that that is not what we consider social equity. That was not the target to give it to someone that was currently in the retail sector and then to be glorified on the media as if job complete. The job is not complete until we reinstate those people that were stripped out of King County, Pierce County, and Snohomish County that legitimately had places of business such as dispensaries that were in those cities that were run out through cronyism, nepotism, whatever you want to call it, and was replaced with white people that had no idea what the cannabis sector was like. The Black and brown community was hurt there. I'd like to move on to my third point, or my fourth. The social equity, the LCB gave the social equity applicants that did get the letter of approval, they gave them a direct link to a women's minority group that was supposed to help with funding for those applicants. Everybody with a hope and a prayer reached out to those people. Black Excellence Cannabis looked into it. It turned out that that agency or that entity was only a referral center. The LCB was marketing that as if that was where the money was going to come from. We would like some transparency. Thank you very much.
We'll go back online, and Mr. Saad, if you're there, you can go ahead. Dustin will connect you.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing, Mr. David, and everyone in the room, and Ms. Ellie Garrett, and Erica, Michaela, and welcome to Washington. I just wanted to say something. We disagree in the past, and we can disagree about something. I just would love from you guys to see in the future those Black pioneers, the one they started the medical, to be acknowledged in those 40 license. The rubric, I'm one of the winners. I own the first medical cannabis shop ever in Washington. I'm the first one. I've been forced out long time ago. I get my opportunity this time. I'm overqualified, not just qualified. And I really, like I said, some people got a lot of people they started they didn't get. So there is no a fully equity. There is no justice. But I'm not gonna blame the whole board on this. I'm blaming those fake leaders in the community. They reflecting the wrong way to the board to make them accept the rubric and those point program, and some people being arrested and some people being having a cannabis shop to have points to get their shops. If you take from somebody, you should give them first. So make it half and half. I wish the board to work with the people to build a trust with the community, so it will never be a frustration. I'm one of the winners, but I still feel like I'm a slave to the LCB in a certain way, because the fake leaders, those our Black leader, and they don't represent us in a right way. They reflect to the board. Hey, you have to put a certain restriction. Nobody can change percentage until after 1 year to those social equity applicant, new store owners. This is not right. Second thing is the work on commerce. They don't want to give people money to secure their store. If I can have my store, I have the fund. Other people don't. I'm looking for other people too. So if I love from my brother, God give me and give them. So I'm not blaming all for the board. I'm blaming those fake self-appointed leaders. So I wish the board to work with the people. And I trust, Mr. David Boltzmann, when he said, hey, this is the point. It's going to be this. I look at it. I say, hey, if it's this, I'm a winner. I told him that a long time ago, and I look at it, and they have a different agency, and that agency, they don't know us, and they have many, many agencies, and I'm one of the winners. So I trusted what is being put. So I'm not blaming the board. So the social equity going forward is kind of not the best, is going forward, but those I wish the board don't listen to those people. They say, oh, we are this, we are that. We all asking for those pioneers to be acknowledged. Trust me, it will be some success. It will be, people will be happy. Second thing is very important. CR 103 about that. For us as a social equity applicant, we should not be include something like that. We're being forced out. So I want to open a shop in Renton. Now, all the license in Renton owned by Evergreen Market, and he bought the last shop from Emil Hayes, and now we cannot even have something like that. I was in a city councilor meeting with Mr.
Sammy,
Eddie.
you have 30 seconds.
He said he will call me. He never called me. Yeah, Mr. Eddie never called me. As a people, Caucasian, they will try to help me. Our own black people, they don't want to help me. Trust me. It's not about color. Trust me. That's why I believe on fairness. So we don't blame Mr. Eligate, Miss Eligate. We don't blame Mr. David. We blame those community leaders. But I wish those you guys, the board, just understand those people, acknowledge those people. Trust me, it will be some success, and it will be people going. But I really thank you, all of you guys.
Sammy, that's your time.
And I
Great.
really, just one thing, I thank all of those people from the licensing department. They reach out to everyone, to every applicant.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Saad. Okay, that brings us to the end of the agenda for today's meeting. So we're going to adjourn the board meeting for Wednesday, February 28th, 2024. We'll be back next Tuesday, most likely, for our next scheduled board caucus. We're adjourned.
Hey.